Four dealers. And for the Red Wings, Jimmy Howard, who did not play here November 16th in the 5-4 shootout loss and has played only 2 of the past 5 since. 23-year-old Kevin Poulin in goal for the Islanders, appearing in a 9th consecutive game. He came on for Evgeny Nabokov after Nabokov was injured when Darren Helm beat him to tie the game at 1 last meeting here as Helm's got it in his own zone. Starts with Daniel Alfredson and Justin Abdelkader, Eriksson and Kronwall as the Red Wings will make an immediate change. Radek Martinek ahead for Pierre-Marc Bouchard, number 96, up with Frans Nielsen, number 51, who had the game-deciding goal in the shootout in the first meeting here, and Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Brock Nelson in there digging for it for the Islanders, number 29, played off his skate. It comes for Helm. Helm gets around John Tavares, shoots one into the Islanders zone, and the Red Wings will now get a change to follow suit of what the Islanders are doing. That's number 14, Thomas Hickey, the defenseman, over to Radek Martinek, who was signed end of October. The shot, that went wide, off the stick of Kyle Okposo, who's got no goals his past half dozen games. Travis Hamonic on defense with number 47, Andrew McDonald, wearing the full facial shield. And that's the best defense duo for the Islanders as that puck is up and out of play. 1:08 into the game, we get our first stop in play.
Very patient start for the Red Wings. What they've done the last 2 games, they're playing patient and smart hockey. And head coach of the New York Islanders. Islanders on after their best of starts. They didn't expect this after a hard-fought series against Pittsburgh last year. They were hoping for more. And hopefully, for that head coach, it happens for them.
And it would be safe to say the Islanders would be one of the top 3 biggest disappointments for this NHL season on what was expected of them. And the big deal, Matt Molson for Thomas Vanek. And that's been just so-so thus far as a shot just went wide from Drew Miller, who scored last game against Boston, as did Tatar, who carries in, backhands one, Poulin the save, rebound up front. Tatar in there digging for it again. It's in skates, Miller in there. All Red Wings in deep. And finally it comes it loose. Kyle Okposo to the line but not out. Anderson was able to get it over to Kronwall, across for Tatar, came back to him. A shot rebounded off a body and just wide. Tatar in back of the goal. Looks back to the line, a clear lane, Kindle firing, and it's tipped over top of the goal. Anderson in there against Andrew McDonald. Came loose for Drew Miller, took a whack at the puck. Great shift by this line that you featured in our open crease.
Oh, wow, that line did everything but score. They went to the net, they crashed around the net, banging away, trying to find a rebound. Came close, but no cigar on that one.
Cleared off the boards and back to center ice, back in by Samuelson, who's out there with Stephen Weiss and Daniel Cleary, the Red Wings' 4th line.
Well, Tatar continues a strong play. He's a nifty player with quick moves, a nice backhander. The key to this, though, Anderson was at the net the entire time with Miller, banging away. Just couldn't find the rebound, just wide of the net. Nice pinching by Kronwall to continue with a strong shift and numerous chances after, but we're not going for the Red Wings.
Tatar got his first National Hockey League goal on New Year's Eve against the New York Islanders. Kendall in back of the goal. Flash off, lost it. It came for Cleary into the middle, knocked down by the Islanders. Shot by Cal Clutterbuck, number 15. To the line, kept in by Matt Partner. Now the Red Wings get the puck to center. Stephen Weiss. He'll shoot it in. Aaron Ness, the defenseman for the Islanders. Samuelson in there for the Red Wings. It's poked free in back of the goal. Stephen Weiss with some good work. To the line to Kendall. Threw it to the other side over Samuelson's stick. Poulin went tumbling. Intercepted by Michael Grabner. As the Islanders bring it into Red Wing territory, and Jimmy Howard will hold on to that shot and get a face-off coming up to his left.
Well, Jimmy Howard getting the start tonight after getting consecutive games off. Had a very good year last year. Didn't have quite the month he would hope for here in November, but he has to get it and just start playing. Don't worry about the Olympics. Don't worry about anything else. Just stop pucks and have fun doing it.
And he's looking to close the month the same way he started it, with a win at Calgary, as he's got that one. That was back on November 1st. That was his last win. He's lost the past 7, but only 3 in regulation.
Sometimes the goalie can just start overthinking, pressing too much, and thinking about things you have no control of, whether it's other players in your team, how they're doing. The Olympics has been on his mind, obviously. He has a new contract. Just go out and play and have fun. You're one of the elite goalies in the National Hockey League. Enjoy it. Work hard every day.
Point shot, knocked down in front. It'll roll through, and Howard will hold on again. And Red Wings scratches this afternoon. Pavel Datsyuk, missing his third consecutive game with that concussion, will not play in Ottawa. Hopes to be back by midweek, as does Todd Bertuzzi. He hopes to be back by midweek too, although with an upper body injury, he is on the trip. And the most notable scratch for the Islanders, Josh Bailey, has been a healthy scratch, and with just 2 assists the past 15 games and no goals, he's really struggled.
Maybe a little mental break for him to sit back and watch some games and figure out what's not been going right for him. A good young player that eventually will get back going, back off the snide. But the Islanders have a lot of guys like that haven't scored as much as they were last year. And they don't have as much depth as maybe some other teams in the league. And when these guys aren't going, they struggle, and their record is what it is because of that.
And with Doug Weight, an assistant coach to Jack Capuano, there's been so much talk. How long will Capuano last? Good save by Howard. He got the right pad down on a shot that changed direction. He was quick and made the save. Lashoff trying to get an angle to get to that puck. As the fourth line's out there now for the Islanders. Matt Martin, number 17's got it. Out with Casey Cizikas, number 53. And number 13, Colin McDonald, who was a healthy scratch last game, but back in. As McDonald will tip it in.
The Red Wings had a good start for the first 2 minutes. Now the shot's 5-1 in favor of the Islanders. Too many turnovers. That's their Achilles heel all season long. When they're patient with the puck, it creates offense for them and keeps them out of their own zone.
John Tavares opened the scoring in the first meeting of the season a couple of weeks ago between these two teams. Helm tied it 9 seconds later, but the Red Wings lost in the shootout 5-4. Daniel Alfredsson, who's got the puck, didn't play in that game. Nor did Stephen Weiss that night. That was the day Luke Glendening was called up from Grand Rapids, just made it here the morning of the game as the Red Wings were shorthanded the night before. Puck is at center, knocked away by Franzen. Zetterberg's got it. Second most points in the National Hockey League with 30. 3 behind Sidney Crosby. But technically third in the NHL points parade. Matt Cartner got the center. Zetterberg was there to beat Tavares to the puck. Jonathan Eriksson ahead for Gustav Nyquist. The Henrik Zetterberg. 2 Islanders converge on him. No matter there. He's right in, circling the goal. Looked in front. Just couldn't complete the pass. Nyquist back to the line. A tough one for Kronwall to keep in, and he couldn't. Thomas Vanek threw it in front of the goal for Tavares, who tipped one in for the 1-0 lead the first time the Islanders met Detroit, and nearly had another one there.
A great save by Jimmy Howard. The Red Wings did a good job after the pass that Kronwall couldn't handle to get back pressure. Kronwall causing enough pressure on the back of Tavares. But Jimmy Howard closed the gap nicely on that to make that save. And here, Henrik Zetterberg showing us why he's the top of the league in scoring. Continues to go right to that. Continues his fabulous play this season.
Best 26-game start since 2007, when Henrik Zetterberg had 35 points then. He's got 30 now.
And as great as he's been, it's been quiet. I never realized that until actually last game when I was back in the studios that he was second in the league scoring. But great player.
Cleary finds Weiss. Poke to the line. Lashoff threw it in back of the goal. Coming up with it, Samuelsson to Lashoff. Weiss with a redirect. He gets taken out of the play. Vanek Martinek able to move that puck. Just his 10th game of the season. Didn't dress last game. Lifted in by Grabner. Going after it is Cizikas. First there was Kindle to knock it back for Samuelsson.
Yep.
Tipped into the zone for Andrew McDonald with a lead pass to Cizikas. Kronwall able to move it ahead. Eriksson with the pass to Miller. Hitting it back from Anderson. Joakim Anderson in back of the goal. Hit by Carton. Kick to the corner for Drew Miller. Now the Islanders, Colin McDonald. A couple of goals in the season for him. Much as the Red Wings have been starved for secondary scoring, it produced so well in the 6-1 victory over Boston a few nights ago. The Islanders Haven't found that way either. Shot in on goal there by Frans Nielsen. He's got 10. He hasn't been a problem for them whatsoever. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome back. Henrik Zetterberg riding a 4-game point streak with 7 points in those 4 games and a brilliant, great shot against the Bruins. Top shelf past Rask, who had no chance. Zetterberg, who's been...
And all part of our Toyota scouting report in the month of November. Second best in the NHL, only Evgeny Malkin better with 20 points since Zetterberg's 5 goals and 13 assists in November. And he doesn't have to worry about Movember with the mustache. He's got it, the beard every month. Here's Helm moving right in. Scores! Oh, what a beautiful goal by Darren Helm. 1-0. He scored the first one last time in here for the Red Wings. So goals in both games against the Islanders. Datsuk's not playing, but he's looking more and more like him.
And this is a great, great goal. Started with this nifty backhand pass by Elferson. The patience of Helm, who's been playing so well since he's been back. Great. Elferson's vision is unbelievable on this play. Sees Helm streaking behind him. A nifty little backhand pass, which enables Helm to go in, who finishes brilliantly with a nice patient move around the goalie pool and tucks it into the open net to put the Red Wings up 1-0.
So prior to finally getting in the Red Wings lineup, he played a game in 18 months. He's got 6 goals already and 8 points in 12 games in about 6 minutes.
Sum that up, he's blowing away expectations since he's been back. I don't think anybody expected this.
The Islanders trying to come right back, just like the first time in here when it was Helm at the other end after Tavares scored. Now the Islanders came right back, but Jimmy Howard shut the door.
And there's a break that Jimmy Howard hasn't been getting lately. The puck comes into his feet. Instead of it jamming between his legs and into the net, it ricochets around and gets caught underneath him, and he's able to sit on the puck. But that break as a goalie kind of gets things going, and we'll see what happens from here. But he hasn't been getting those breaks of late. Now he's just got one, so we'll see what he does with it.
So again, we've got Zetterberg's line against Tavares' line. Puck poked away by Nyquist to the blue line. And how Detroit will take over. Zetterberg has to go to the bench to get a new stick. He has that in his hands. As Travis Hamonic over to Thomas Vanek. Back for Hamonic. He really loves to move the puck. In for John Tavares, back of the goal. The Islanders captain played one out short side. Came back to Hamonic at the right point. Faked the shot. For Tavares, trying to get in the middle, but Zetterberg got in its path. Trying to stay with him. It bounces off a skate to the corner. Kyle Oposo couldn't get the angle on Eriksson. Franzen says enough of this and just hits that clock at center ice with that clear.
Well, the Red Wings' last visit here was a short game for Nabokov, who early on, a 2-on-0 break. Helm rocketing one in, creating an injury for Nabokov, who pulled his groin in the play. In a sense, been out and will probably be out a lot longer. And Poulin's getting a chance to start some games here. And he's been good, but he could be a little better. They have these 3-9. They need some goaltending. They have a young team. And when a young team loses confidence in their goaltenders, equals losses.
Here's Ness at the left point. Yeah, goaltending's been a lot of an issue. Injuries on the defense. Without Lubomir Visnovsky, Brian Strait lost those two, and that's why Radek Martinek was signed end of October. So they've had some problems. Scoring hasn't been the biggest of their issues, as this will be icing. But defense, keeping the puck out, certainly has been, as Darren Helm has given the Red Wings a 1-0 lead. He may want to keep that mustache going, too.
I was talking to him before the game, and we've been joking around about his mustache the last 2 or 3 games, but I said if you scored tonight, you have to keep the mustache, and he agreed to it, so we'll see if he still has it on in Ottawa.
So when we're in Ottawa on Sunday, the beginning of December, yes, the calendar turns.
He has to keep it.
I would think so. The way he's been going. Weiss, who you think about it now, Stephen Weiss is where Darren Helm was, although it would have been maybe Joachim Andersen too, but Weiss is now your 4th line center. If you'd said that when Darren Helm comes back Even with Datsuk out of the lineup, if he's with Zetterberg, you got Darren Helm. Does he keep the second line center spot even when Pavel comes back? I mean, it's nice options for the coach.
Darren Helm has played so brilliantly here since his return that now they have a kid line, number 3 line, all young guys, and a 4th line of all veterans. Red Wings overall last 2 games, their structure has been 100% better than it was previously, and that's what's enabled them to score some goals and play some good defense. They're much more patient playing together as a 5-man unit, better than they have all season.
Puck into the Detroit zone. Brock Belson. Pushed to the ice by Lashoff. Lashoff on it again. Taken now by Kindle. Over the stick of Thomas Hickey. Cleary up on the forecheck. In came Samuelson. He swings one around, and Martinic had it hit his skate. He fell down. Red Wings able to recover at center. So a good start to this game, coming off the 6th spot they put on the Bruins, up 6-0 before Gustafsson lost his shutout bid with around 3 minutes to go in the game. And Red Wings showing their, at least for now, they're building off that confidence they had against Boston. Brendan Smith, who got the secondary assist on the Helm goal. Alfredson, the primary helper. Smith showing some good strength to bring it out to center ice.
Very, very good play by Smith, who since his being back from his injury has played solid hockey, and what the Red Wings have expected from him all year long.
5 games back, 8 shots, only a -1, and 18 minutes average ice time a night after missing 6 to injury.
We mentioned we were young guys earlier in the pregame show, but even the young defenseman Kindle, Smith, and Lashoff have been playing very, very well today.
Back of the goal, McDonald tried to wrap around. Wouldn't go. Cizikas had it knocked away. Picked up there by Drew Miller. Banked one off the boards. And Andrew McDonald will settle it down, and across it goes for Hamonic. Sensing the Zetterberg line was out, the Islanders in a somewhat sloppy change. Not too many men on the ice, though, as McDonald will shoot it in. Punched away by Kronwall to Nyquist. You can play it with your hand from one teammate to another in your own zone as Franzen carries in. Sharp angle shot that'll be held by Kevin Poulin. And we'll step out for a moment from Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Darren Helm with a beauty. 1-0 Detroit. Daniel Alfredson, his 1200th National Hockey League game. 1,178 of those with Ottawa. He'll turn 41 in 12 days. Prior to that, well, they'll have a nice ceremony for him before the game in Ottawa on Sunday. Drop the puck shortly after 5:30. We'll carry that for you on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. We'll show you how the Senators will honor Daniel. And I know it'll be a very emotional day for him returning to Ottawa, as it will be for many Senator fans too. On the return of Daniel Alfredson. For the Red Wings, Chris, they just want to beat Ottawa. He's really struggled lately and has beaten Detroit twice.
Ottawa has played so well against Detroit, and I'm not sure if it's the Alfredson factor or not, but Ottawa disappointed. They lost a player of his caliber, and Detroit we're grateful for it. And he reminds me of when the Red Wings picked up guys like Larry Murphy and Jamie Macau and certain guys that just fit in perfect to what the Red Wings are doing, and he has done that so far this year. He just does everything so well, and he brings that veteran presence for the team that's always needed.
Nyquist going in to get it into the corner. Backing up, Smith was Zetterberg. It hit Smith, but a good break for him. The high slot. Save made, rebound. And there to grab it was Kyle Okposo. Zetterberg on that puck. Hamonic trying to tie him up. Knocked the puck free. Good hustle by Detroit to converge. 2 men deep. McDonald on the far side now with Tavares. A bouncer into Red Wing territory. Here's Thomas Vanek. Shot in that Howard had. It's underneath his right pad. And Okposo mixing it up in front as you look at Thomas Vanek of the New York Islanders, who came over for Matt Moulson. The Islanders 2-7 with him and 2-3 without him. He's missed some time due to injury. And he'll be an unrestricted free agent end of the season, as will be Matt Moulson, now in Buffalo. So I just don't think the Islanders were prepared to pay Moulson what he wanted. But at the end of the year, who knows if Moulson comes back or whether Vanek gets re-signed. At some point, though, Chris, whether it be Matt Moulson, P.A. Parento, Don't you think at some point the Islanders have to sign somebody and have some stability here to go with Tavares?
Well, after last year's playoff series, just walking around the arena before the game earlier, just hoping that they would have done that in the offseason, added to that team with maybe a top-of-the-line goalie, a couple defensemen. They lost Street to Philadelphia. They haven't replaced him. They have all these good young players, a good core of guys. They have to surround them with people. They created some excitement after they did lose to Pittsburgh, but I think the fans are expecting them to take that next jump.
Puck is sticked aside by Howard, grabbed by Kyle Quincy. Abdelkader couldn't clear that puck. Martinez held it in at the point. Abdelkader again able to chip one on for Daniel Alfredsson. He's got an assist today. It's 57 points in 60 career games against the Islanders. In a fierce battle with Ottawa and the Islanders over the years that Daniel was there. Red Wings will fly to Ottawa after the game tonight. Have an off day there tomorrow. They'll practice. That should be a zoo.
They should clear that.
With all the attention.
Reporters at the arena tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun, though.
Yep. Poulin cleared it near side for Nelson. Perfect read at center ice, intercepted by Lashoff.
Nice read by Lashoff, who last game was +3. I guess a talented Bruins team. There's another one of those young guys that's playing very well for the Red Wings right now.
He's sat the first 4 games this season. He's been in every game since, Brian Lashoff.
He played solid, important minutes throughout the season so far, minutes that are necessary for this team to be successful.
Quincy was hooked a little bit. Kevin Poulin left it in back of the goal, a force by Cleary. In the middle to Nielsen. Up it goes to Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Former Minnesota Wild top pick. Picked up by Nelson. Nelson shot, got off by Howard. Nelson had a goal in the game against Detroit. That was the last goal he scored. Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Check. Losing a stick was Smith. As Cleary back to help him out.
The Islanders must have seen something on Jimmy Howard. They're taking a lot of bad angle shots into the feet of Jimmy Howard, trying to catch him off guard or surprise him. I'm not sure if they've seen something on tape that would warrant that, but they definitely... Howie's got to be sharper. Shooting from those bad angles are dangerous shots.
Brought in here by Tatar. Tatar turning. In for Kindle. Just wide. And as a goaltender, if you're sensing that, boy, I've had 4 on my feet now. Do you notice when you're playing, are they trying to go there on me? Are you thinking that way too?
Yeah, for sure. I remember the Colorado Avalanche used to always do that to me. And it's a tough play for the goalie when they get that puck in your feet. You put your head down. It's hard to find those pucks when they're on the ice below your equipment. And they're definitely going after Jimmy Howard tonight in that way.
Here comes Tatar. Great play back. Anderson shooting. And Poulin came out to grab that. Again, this line, like you showed earlier, is really creating some pressure. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Red Wings were rooting for the Rangers on that one because now they're 5 back of Boston and pull within 3 again, but Boston will have a game in hand. So the Red Wings, Mike Babcock and company, 4th in the Eastern Conference, coming into play this afternoon. And remember the last time, Chris, the Red Wings were in here, it was the second half of back-to-back games. They were home to Washington the night before in a setback and then had to play right here.
But the point I want to make is through all the overtime losses and the shootout losses and not winning the game at home for 8 games, they're only 5 points back, but the team is moving in the right direction, the way they're playing. They're more organized. I like the patience they're showing. They're spending more time in the offensive zone than in their zone. They're doing a lot of good things that are moving in the right direction for the Red Wings.
Red Wings win that faceoff, the period that's been dominated in the faceoff by the Islanders so far, although certainly didn't matter a couple of nights ago against Boston, and again without Pavel Datsyuk. This will be icing. Whoa. Good play by Lashoff. Just to slow down a touch at the red line. Looked like a veteran move there, and they still called the icing.
Very smart play by Lashoff. Gives Red Wings an opportunity on an offensive zone face-off here and sends out Darren Helm. Line with Alfredsson. Both players have been playing so well. Flanked by Justin Abdelkader, who like them has been playing very well last 2 or 3 games as well.
Draw taken by the Islanders. Funny when they say when you lose a game and you don't win face-offs and you're dominated, to say, well, you can't win if you don't have the puck. You don't start with the puck. Well, on nights when you're lousy on face-offs and you still win and you put up 6 goals, it doesn't matter, does it? It's just about scoring.
I think the most important stat is defensive zone face-offs. If you win a heck of a lot of those in your own zone, it enables you to get that puck out of your zone, spend less time inside your zone.
Alfredsson and Abdelkader. Comes back here for Kindle. Abdelkader get his stick back. Helm pushed it deep. And Kindle had to stop that puck in center ice area. He'll head off now as he gives the puck back to Kronwall.
Another good shift for the Red Wings. Not a goal and not a shot on that, but a lot of in-zone time wearing down the Islanders. It takes us toll by the end of the game in the third period. They could reap the benefits of that.
And that's a big problem for the Islanders. They spend way too much time, according to their coaching staff, in their own defensive zone. That's
when you defend, you're constantly chasing. It tires you out.
Turned over. Franzen to Zetterberg, and a sharp angle shot stopped by Poulin. And another miscue by the Islanders, and here are the Red Wings again. Nyquist looks for someone open. He took away Zetterberg. Nyquist plays it back to him now, though. Zetterberg circles the goal. Back for Gustav Nyquist. Back for Henrik Zetterberg, who got pinched out by Hickey. And then he'll go back down ice.
Looked like Nyquist was, remember in that Boston game, where that nice pass out front to Zetterberg, who buried the goal. Just, they had Zetterberg covered. They knew he was going there, but he made a sharp play anyways.
Over Weiss's stick. Samuelsson. Threw it into the middle. Tavares lost it as Weiss was able to knock it down. Samuelsson, safe play, turn it deep. Cleary lets it go in behind for Weiss. Good work. Cleary getting on Okposo. Good stick by Weiss, not once but twice. And it's into the Islander bench, and a stop in play and a little mix-up just inside the Islander line as Samuelsson having some words with Andrew McDonald. And they're not finished just yet. Turn your Black Friday red and white. Get tickets to all Wings home games with no transaction fees through Monday at midnight. Call 313-471-7575 or go to DetroitRedWings.com. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. No transaction fees through Monday at midnight.
All this end zone time, the Red Wings are forcing the Islanders to play. Chasing the Red Wings appears to be frustrating them a bit. And I like the way that veteran line has played that fourth line so far today. They've gotten pucks deep. They've been smart with the puck. They've had that third guy high and in a safe position batting down pucks like Weiss just did to create another opportunity in the offensive zone.
And they'll call this icing as it flew over the stick of Brendan Smith. Darren Helm with 5 goals now has passed 7 games. With Abdelkader and Alfredsson. Alfredsson with an assist today has a goal and 6 points the past 3 games. Abdelkader will take this faceoff. The Islanders come up with the puck as Bouchard moved it back for Ness. On to Cartner, nearly threw it into his own bench. Just over 3 to play in the opening period. Glad you're with us. From Long Island, Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood, Trevor Thompson, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew with you on this Black Friday. As Abdelkader brings it in for Alfredsson, drops it back. Quincy, a shot, saved by Poulin. Ooh, rebound as Helm inadvertently ran into Alfredsson. Both appear to be okay. Brendan Smith turning in deep. Alfredsson gives him the puck back. To the line to Quincy. Again, Red Wings winning the puck battles. Helm kicking it ahead, knocked down, stayed with it. Alfredsson, the shot went high. Another great play by Darren Helm.
This is all created by the great pinch by Brendan Smith down the boards, creating ample opportunity, more chances for the Red Wings. But he's patient with the puck, getting it back and giving them still more end zone time once again.
Did we say the Islanders spend too much time in their own defensive zone? Well, credit Detroit, but the Islanders have had some miscues too. And the fans are letting them hear it. Again, not a safe outlet there, but it came out across the line and offside. So great pressure, Detroit, and fumbling with the puck is the Islanders as a result.
And that all started the Red Wings coming up the ice as a 5-man unit, which they weren't doing a very good job of earlier in the season. They came up together, created an opportunity off the rush. Quincy with a shot. Abdelkader driving the net, creating pressure on the goaltender Poulin, and then they kept it in there. They are retrieving pucks. They're not giving the Islanders any time in their own zone. When they do get it, they're supporting each other, regrouping, back to the point, then into the net, crashing once again.
Well, the Islanders have lost 4 in a row since beating Detroit. They're 6 points out of a playoff spot right now in 14th place. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
The Red Wings look like they're confident in what they're doing right now. They're playing together. Like I said before, it's 5-man units. And they trust each other right now. They're getting pucks down low. They're supporting each other back to the point for the net.
They win that face-off to Eriksson. Oh, and just wide. Good hustle by Johan Franzen.
The Red Wings weren't getting a lot of shots on their point man early here. Now they're getting plenty of shots on the point man, which creates opportunity. And it's tough on the goalie when you're constantly getting crashed in there, like the Red Wings have been doing to Poole in this entire first period.
Eriksson popped it up. Vanek, a shot blocked. Franzen got down in front of that to help out his goaltender. And now Franzen will go off, and Red Wings will get a change here. Tough pass for Tatar to take on a feed he didn't really want at that point from Jonathan Eriksson. Miller escaped a hip check from Martinez. Went across for Zetterberg.
That was an old school
knocked
hip
down
check
with a high stick.
That was an old school hip check by Martinez.
Although
just eluded it.
He was a little slow. He looked like Bob Bond throwing a hip check from the 60s.
He
wasn't quite up to speed doing it. I'll tell you that.
It wasn't a Kevin Stevens type hip check, that's for certain.
No.
Who hit so many guys not far from here in New Jersey. Great player for the New Jersey Devils, but Miller, a nice slip move around Martinez, another opportunity. Probably should have shot that puck there in the last minute, 2 minutes of the period, and maybe created that 2-0 lead.
Aaron Ness. Cross center and in. Shots are 12-9 Islanders, but the Red Wings lead by a goal. On the Darren Helm tally, Frans Nielsen. Spoke back and he goes to get it. 10 goals, 22 points for that man. And almost unstoppable in the shootout, as the Red Wings discovered with the game-deciding goal, beating Jonas Gustafsson. In here, Michael Grabner couldn't knock it down. Oposo gets checked by Helm, who made the play to an open wing. Thomas Hickey back for Ness.
Smart period so for the Red Wings, and they want to make sure they get out of this with their lead. They're chipping the puck out right here. Perfect play with 10 seconds remaining.
Ablocator just couldn't pick it up at center. And the Bluebirds here on Long Island, letting their team hear it. Islanders have won just 2 of their past 10 games. So a little bit of a struggle for them. A Ram first intermission. We'll analyze Darren Helm's goal and the night the Red Wings have had this evening as we send it back to Darren and Shannon in our studio.
All right, thanks.
Well, the Red Wings without Pavel Datsyuk once again, but there are Datsyuk sweaters present here on this Black Friday. Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Detroit leading 1-0, and Darren Helm with the goal. And if he gets 2 more, or another player gets a hat trick in this game, bring a copy of the scoring summary to our participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries, and you can find a copy of the scoring summary in your newspaper or on the Red Wings page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Well, the lineups: Tatar, Anderson, and Miller. Good against Boston, good again today.
They've been very good again today. The common theme for this line the last 2 games have been bodies to the net. Either Anderson or Miller have always been around the net. Shots from Kindle over top of the net here, but that's hard. Dipping and diving in, showing all the talent he has. A nifty pass here, creating an opportunity for Anderson. A nice save by the goaltender for the Islanders. But these 3 guys have been very good the last 2 games. They're creating opportunity by 1, going into the net, 2, hunting pucks down, and 3, putting pucks on the net and creating opportunity for themselves.
Second period underway as Brendan Smith takes a long shot that rims around, picked up by Martinez. Islanders can't clear. Alfredson able to block it. Then got checked by Thomas Hickey. Michael Grabner to take the puck over for Oposo. Grabner flying up the wing. And the Austrian, 1 of 2 on this team. Grabner went offside, Thomas Vanek being the other. Michael Grabner scored 2 goals opening night. That's it.
21 games since without a goal. That is a slump. And Chris, when you think about their lack of secondary scoring, Bailey, who's a healthy scratch tonight, Grabner, Matt Martin, and Peter Regan, no goals in 69 games combined, and these are regulars.
You can expect maybe one of those guys getting off to a poor start, but on this team, when there's that many guys that are struggling to put the puck in the net, and they don't have a ton of depth to start with, that equals the record they do have right now.
Well, one guy who scores is Tavares, got it in front, and a save made off Vanek by Jimmy Howard. Vanek with 7 goals on the season. He was the one acquired for Matt Molson and a first and second round pick.
It's a vintage Jimmy Howard save. The nice strong push off the post out of the blue. Shoulders up, strong and taken off the chest with no rebound.
Shot is blocked from Hamonic. Franzen for Zetterberg. Joining is Eriksson. He's got it now. And a shot went wide of the goal. Zetterberg kept it in. Nyquist, good move to get away from Hamonic, who stayed with it. Got a stick on the puck. Moved it. Look out. Oh, Kronwall went to hit Clutterbuck, who then cross-checks him to the ice. No call on the cross-check, but Nick had moved up to Kronwall Clutterbuck, who saw it coming.
And reverse hit by Clutterbuck sending Kronwall to the ice, who popped right back up right away, engaged back in the play, and then a cross-check to the back of Kronwall.
Clutterbuck's a guy who loves to hit in his own right. And a shot in by Nelson, and Howard will hold on to that. Well, Clutterbuck, along with Dustin Brown in LA year after year among the hit leaders in the National Hockey League. Now that's been taken over by his teammate, Matt Martin. But tonight's hard hits are brought to you by Timberland Pro. And Kronwall got the worst of that one.
It's quite a collision, and the cross-check after by Clutterbuck not called. Maybe the referees have some shopping to do here on Black Friday after the game.
Want to get out. Remember the old building in Hartford, which was attached to a shopping mall? That would have been the perfect place to go.
There should be a Black Friday game there every year.
I think so. Neutral site game. They should. Be convenient.
I think the Wolfpack play there, do they not? For the AHL?
You didn't do that in your tour last year and your other?
No, I wasn't there. There's been plenty of places around New York, though.
You were a former New York Islander. Your time here. Kendall reversed that, and picking it up his last shot. Cleary leaves it for Weiss, along with Samuelson. Glanced off a leg. Samuelson in there into the corner to get it. Nice little flip pass back for Brendan Smith. Then a blocker save made by Kevin Poulin. Playing in his 9th consecutive game. Started all but one. As this will be icing coming down in the Islanders zone.
A nice shot on net by Brendan Smith on an equally nice pass by Samuelson. Nice little backhand flip pass over to Smith. The shot on the net, the Red Wings, Dan Cleary and Weiss trying to get the net, but couldn't provide the screen in front of Poulin. That would have made things a lot tougher on him with that save.
Anderson between Miller and Cleary. Joachim Anderson trying to get it back to Lashoff, intercepted by Colin McDonald. He found a bouncing puck, but offside it was at the Red Wing line.
That was close.
A reminder to get your voting in for the player of the game. You can text WINGS followed by a space and the player's uniform number to 37338. Tatar chipped it forward and then stole the puck, and then regaining control of it was Hickey. And we've got a penalty coming for cross-checking. First of this game for either team. Hickey will be going to the box.
Well, this was created by Tatar's second effort, stealing the puck, continuing to go to the net, hunts down a loose puck again, and the cross-check.
Actually be Martinek going.
I thought it was Hickey, but it was the veteran defenseman who I play with here in Long Island. Martinek will be sitting for 2.
Whose claim to fame was that shootout goal after, what was it, 16 rounds or whatever it was through the legs.
He's a very reliable player, very good skater, has a hard shot, and he was always good at shootouts in
Was he?
practice. Oh, yes, he was.
Well, that's where the Red Wings haven't been good this year. 9 consecutive shootout losses. Hopefully we won't get there. So cross-checking at 2:57, a Bell Tire power play for Detroit. First power play of the game for either team. Red Wing power play 6th in the league and has a power play goal in all but 1 of their past 8 games. It's been outstanding. In the loss to the Islanders here, they had just 1 power play and scored on it. The man who got that goal isn't in the lineup here today, Pavel Datsyuk. Here's Franzen. Fake the shot. Now in deep with it. Zetterberg gives him the puck back and a return pass to the captain. Kronwall to Alfredsson to Zetterberg. In front is Abdelkader. Alfredsson right point. Zetterberg. Wow. Kronwall. Alfredsson. Zetterberg firing. Save made. Rebound. Franzen's got it. You were impressed by that flip pass back. And then it went over Alfredsson's stick.
Peter Zetterberg has been so good this year. Every game is like that, so it gives you something that surprises you. What a cross-ice pass.
Kronwall back to Zetterberg. For Franzen to Zetterberg, and he was covered. Grabner did well to stay with him. Casey Cizikas doesn't get it deep. Franzen back to pick it up. Islander penalty killing last in the National Hockey League. 5 of the past 6 games, they've at least allowed 1 power play goal against them. Half minute left in this man advantage for Detroit. The Red Wings were 1 for 4 against Boston. Kindle back here to Tatar, the shot. Pulling the save. Rebound, and he'll grab that.
Franzen was in this position earlier and didn't shoot. Left it to pass instead. I love it when the winger comes off the boards and these quick shots through traffic. It's a tough save for the goaltender. Bounces off its defenseman. Poulin does a good job to corral that loose puck before a Red Wing can get in there and jam it home. Red Wings did a good job at the start of their power play of moving the puck around, but could benefit a little more by shooting a few more times early.
Helm in the middle, flanked by Nyquist and Tatar. Samuelsson right point, Kindle at the left. And the Nyquist pass went right between the two. Thomas Tatar at center. For Helm, who was the only goal of the game. Penalty over, so the Red Wings 0 for 1 on the power play here today. Brock Nelson slipping one through. And a good chance there for Peter Regan, looking for his first goal in 22 games. And the Red Wings steal. Nyquist on the wing. Poulin with the save and off to the corner. Andrew McDonald for the Islanders. His pass for Tavares failed to click. Hamonic for Andrew McDonald to Thomas Vanek, who missed some time due to injury. Islanders 2-7 with Vanek, 2-3 without him in the 5 games he was out. He did not play against the Red Wings in the Islanders win. Vanek was hurt. That was the strangest part of the deal, was Tavares' relationship with Matt Molson, very close friends.
Best of friends, and kind of a trade that surprised a lot of people around the league. And, you wonder if Tavares knew that it was going to happen, or if he had any inkling that it might.
He had said, I heard him say he did not, that Garth Snow did not approach him. I somehow find it hard to believe, but I could see him saying no at any rate. Here's Weiss. To the far corner, Zetterberg. Felt the hit coming from Kartner and played into it. Quincy to the net, and a quick save by Poulin. Franzen's got it. Check to the boards by Nielsen. Off the side of the goal by Johan Franzen. Turning up high with it is Nyquist. Fast in front. Oh, Smith had a great chance. I think he was surprised by it.
I don't think he saw the pass come across. It just hit his stick. He probably would have loved to have hold on to that. He would have had a wide open net.
Johan Franzen put it in for Nyquist. Got some space back to Franzen. In tight. And the shot from Zetterberg. And Poulin juggled it, but holds it. And everybody's got a hold of somebody now. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Well, there's Johan Franzen, part of our feature called Ice Time, which is brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. And Johan Franzen, the first 13 games, just 5 points, the last 8 on quite a roll. And 11 points in 8 games since the injury when he missed 5.
Yeah, just watching over the last 8 games, 2 things I've noticed the most. He's skating a lot better. He's skating with speed down the wings, and he's shooting a heck of a lot more than he did early in the season, and that comes with being more confident about what you're doing out there on the ice.
Need a goal against the Islanders in the 5-4 shootout setback the Red Wings had here.
And he's got a great shot. He should shoot all the time. He should shoot more. Think shoot, not pass for him.
Alfredsson back to pick it up. Boy, to get Alfredsson back when Pavel Datsyuk goes down, that's a big help for the Red Wings, and just Alfredsson's presence. And he's played very well. He's got the puck again.
Such a key pickup. A surprising one at that in the offseason for the Red Wings.
It was either going to be Detroit or Boston, and chose the Red Wings. Mentioning the 2 great stars who'd been with one team for so long, and Gimlet left Pittsburgh, and he went to Boston. As the Islanders just wrap it down, this will be icing. So the faceoff will come back into the Islanders zone. Well, don't miss the action when the Wings battle the Flyers Wednesday, December 4th. The first 7,500 fans in attendance will receive a Pavel Datsyuk bobblehead. We hope he'll be back in the lineup for that big night. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by. And the Philadelphia Flyers just 4 out of a playoff spot. After the horrible start they had, were they 1-7 or something?
Yeah,
my, have they come on.
They got it back to 500, and they lost 2 games in a row, but winning the other day. Now they're just 1 below 500. And a team that in the end I think will make the playoffs. Mason, the goaltender, playing very well this season.
That's always been the problem in Philadelphia, solid goaltending. And their former goaltender in his debut with Edmonton last night, Ilya Bryzgalov, gets a shutout. The Oilers are on a bit of a roll now, although still way out of the playoff chase. There's another team many had thought more of to start this season, like the Islanders.
I've talked about that for the last three years consecutive for the Oilers.
Yep.
We saw the frustration and heard the frustrations of their fans while we were in Edmonton for that game.
Zetterberg lost it at center. Matt Martin picks it up for Colin McDonald. Zizekas went over to check Zetterberg. Franzen followed up, took Martin out of the play, and Nyquist gets it down the ice.
It's one missed pass by the Islanders affected that entire rush. And we never talked about the effectiveness. How effective are you when you have the puck and doing a nice play with the puck in the Red Wings? The passing has been so much better of late than it was earlier in the season.
Tatar with a good play to Anderson. He gets hauled down by Andrew McDonald. Who didn't get the puck out. As Miller with some good work. Now, Tavares tried to be a little tricky in his own zone, didn't work. Thomas Vanek fed one ahead for McDonald, who goes off. Kronwall for Detroit. In front of his own goal to Eriksson for Miller. And they say Tatar was just offside, so the faceoff will come back deep into the Red Wing zone as Tatar and Hamonic exchanging Thanksgiving greetings.
Tatar doesn't mind this kind of action at all. He actually enjoys it. Just a bit offside. I think it's the Islanders' frustration with the Red Wings right now. They're getting pucks deep. They're in their face. They're really checking them tightly. The Red Wings are being a very tough team to play against right now. That doesn't mean fighting, but it means they're in the face of the Islanders all night long, on the puck, not giving them any time. When you're in your zone defending, and guys are hitting you and rubbing you out and constantly making things tough on you, you get frustrated. I think I'm seeing that right now with the Islanders as the game moves forward.
Off the draw, Samuelsson. Smith for Cleary. Smith back to Samuelson, and in it goes. Weiss in the corner. While the Red Wings get set to play Toronto at the big house on New Year's Day, the Islanders in late January have an outdoor game 2 at Yankee Stadium against the Rangers. That'll be a home date for the Islanders.
My old goaltending coach, Billy Smith, battling Billy, will be playing that game for the Islanders outdoor game. And I wish him luck and stay warm.
In the alumni part.
In the alumni.
I hope not the regular game. The Islanders are that hurting for goalies.
Well, if him and I were playing, it would be about 9-8 at least.
At least, yeah, maybe. I don't know about after the first. Give yourself more credit than that. We'll see how you fare against those Leafs, as this will be icing. And that game, there'll be 2 outdoor games at Yankee Stadium, so the Islanders will play that one as part of a home game on January 29th, part of Super Bowl week, and trying to take advantage of all the folks who will be in for Super Bowl time in the New York area.
It should be a lot of fun. They have plenty of games here. The Rangers playing in 2 games, but the Islander-Rangers games are always exciting and one of the biggest rivals in sports, and the fans will be excited for that in this New York area.
Off the draw, Nelson's shot went off a leg. Alfredsson to get it. Cartner for Nelson. Tipped in by Peter Regan. Free agent signing. Used to be an Ottawa Senator and a teammate of Daniel Alfredsson. Regan turns, gets it back to Bouchard, to the line to Ness, to Bouchard again, to Ness in the spot, and a shot, and he hit a leg. Brock Nelson's got it. Red Wings hemmed in a bit here. Alfredsson checked, Abdelkader to the line, and now out to center.
Nice job by Abdelkader and Helm to get that puck over that blue line and relieve the pressure the Islanders had on the Red Wings.
Abdelkader knocked down. The refs let that one go as Hamonic shoots one wide. Refs this afternoon, Tom Cowell and Eric Furlat. Puck in front of the goal off Bouchard's stick. Kindle with a good play to Zetterberg. Away from Okposo. Zetterberg with that great lower body strength. Keeps that puck. Finds Franzen and a shot. And a blocker save. Rebound to Kindle. Back in front of the goal. Nyquist couldn't pick it up. Michael Grabner's away. Came over on waivers from Florida, did Grabner. Dropped back and a shot went high and wide. From Nielsen. McDonald with a point shot. Again, the body in front. Cornwall there on Grabner. Nyquist. Skate to stick. Chips it in and goes after it. Kevin Poulin gave it away to Zetterberg. Nyquist took it from Nielsen. Coming back is Joachim Anderson, and the Red Wings regroup. Good feed by Eriksson to Franzen. Drop back to Anderson. Nyquist wide open. There's a shot. He wanted the puck earlier. Franzen went the other way, and by the time Nyquist shot it, he was off to an acute angle.
That was a nice play by the Red Wings all around. Nice pass, and you just would hope that he would get the shot on the net and give himself an opportunity to make this 2-0.
Quincy will fire it in. Tatar. Lost it. Matt Martin's got it. 123 hits coming into play today. Leads the National Hockey League, Matt Martin. As Tatar's shot goes off an Islanders stick for a stop in play. 1-0 Red Wings. We're back in a moment. Well, the Red Wings have won the last 2 games without Pavel Datsyuk, and that can be an accomplishment in its own right if you look at the numbers the last 2 seasons. Our Red Wing player fact brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel.
Pavel, obviously a player that's missed when he's not in the lineup, and a credit to the players in the secondary scoring that they've gotten the last couple games here. Tatar, Nyquist, Anderson, all playing very, very well, and Alfredsson obviously has been great all season, but they're stepping up and filling the void left by Pavel.
And Pavel Datsyuk had 2 goals in the 5-4 shootout loss here for the Islanders. Pavel hopefully will be back next Wednesday against Philadelphia, but with a concussion, you never know. And I heard Brendan Shanahan's explanation as to why there was no suspension. Feeling Jared Cowan more than an elbow was just trying to flex his arms straight out to get Pavel, and as a reaction, it did catch him with an elbow, and he said the league had a lot of thought about that one.
It's an odd explanation for that.
Yeah,
it
but
appeared to me like Cowan had looked at Pavel before the elbow came up and hit him, grazed him in the jaw.
yeah, a tough call,
But nonetheless, it is what
they're
saying. It is what it is what they say, which
they
don't
also
like to use that.
didn't know Pavel would be out as long as he's been, although that's the problem with determining the extent of an injury on a suspension, because Cowan was playing the next afternoon in Carolina.
I think the most important thing at the end of this is that Pavel comes back fully 100% ready to play again.
Right. Franzen, good move. And there's going to be a penalty. We've got interference to the Islanders, and this was way back, I think, at the Red Wing bench.
That was a play.
Islanders penalty number 53, minor penalty for interference.
It could be that, was it Nyquist trying to get off, and he couldn't. It may have been behind the play.
The interference penalty is going to put the Islanders down a man here for 2 minutes, with less than 6 minutes to go in the second period. But instead of talking about the penalty of the Islanders, Johan Franzen, what I talked about earlier, he had an opportunity to shoot. He's got a great high-rising shot. Instead of maybe beating that last Islander, shoot that puck, make Poulin make a save.
So the Red Wings go to their second power play of this game. Did not score in the first. They've had the only 2 man advantages in this contest. As Samuelsson and Kindle are on the back end. Helm with Nyquist and Tatar up front as the Islanders get it down the ice.
Maybe the Mule is saving his shots for Ottawa, where he had 5 goals in the previous season. Got a great shot. Shoot, Franzen.
Here's Tatar. Off a stick. Islanders intercept. Michael Grabner, who we mentioned having a goal in 21 games. He's got 42 shots in that time. Oh, it's not for lack of trying. You talk about shooting.
Must be thinking, what do I have to do to get a puck to cross that line?
Shoot it harder.
Frustrating times for him, but
yeah,
they stick with it. They got a lot of good young players here in New York.
Poulin played it just in front of the goal line and outside the trapezoid, so that was okay, and the Islanders get it down the ice again.
That was very close, and when you're short-handed, a man always wondered why the goalie would even risk that kind of play. Put yourself down 5-on-3 on more or less a needless play.
Red Wings missing their top power play goal producer, Pavel Datsyuk with 5. Franzen next with 4. He's out there now with Zetterberg and Abdelkader, Alfredsson and Kronwall. Alfredsson's got it at the point. Kronwall down low, Zetterberg in front. And knocked down the ice by the Islanders.
Great puck movement again by the Red Wings. The only thing missing is that shot. Start shooting a little bit more. Make this goal. I've said it before. Make him make saves. He's 3-9. He hasn't been great. Just been good. But make him make saves. Force him into beating you.
Alfredsson gives it to Zetterberg. Franzen. 10 seconds left in the Bell Tire power play. Red Wings. Going to be a penalty here. For the first time, Red Wings will be shorthanded when the Islander penalty to Cizikas expires in 4 seconds. The Islanders will then go to their first power play. Red Wing penalty killing, 3rd best in the league.
Yeah, Abdelkader just goes in here to a nice little shove, but when you've had the only 2 power plays of the game, that's an easy call for the referee to make, and to put the Islanders on the power play here in 4 seconds. And
the fact that there's under 4 to play in period 2, and the Red Wings had to kill off 6 Islander power plays the last time they met here 2 weeks ago, and Detroit managed to kill off 5 of them on the night that Jonas Gustafsson was in goal. So the Red Wing penalty killing 3rd best. It'll go to work in 4 seconds. The Islander power play 21st in the league. And now go to work with the manpower advantage. Andrew McDonald with a spinorama play at the line to keep it in. For John Tavares. Back to McDonald. Miller got in front of that to block.
great block by Miller. He read the play perfectly, getting across, and close the gap, and a huge block. That gets through, it causes trouble not only for Jimmy Howard, but the defenseman in front of him, with Islanders lurking around, searching for that rebound.
Brock Nelson scored the Islander power play goal in the first meeting when they were 1 for 6 against Detroit. As Eriksson is on at first. Down by Cleary. Helm forcing the issue. Look at this. Oh, he scores! Darren Helm! He's got a goal. 2 tonight. And this one shorthanded. 2-0 Red Wings. You could see that coming when Helm took off at center ice, that this was going to be trouble for the Islanders.
And I'm going to say it. The mustache needs to stay after that one. What a goal. Vanek, a soft play on the boards to allow this through, and Helm taking advantage of surprising the Islanders with his speed, and hits McDonald. They kind of collide, and the puck creams into the gaping goal. Poulin ill-advises. He second-guessed himself. He went out there, paused, and then decided he should keep going. It was too late with a speedy Helm, creating one of the more entertaining goals we've seen this season.
I haven't seen a player go up like that over a goalie since Marian Gaborik and Dominik Hasek.
And his mustache stayed in perfect position the entire time.
Wow, and Poulin's okay, and thankfully Helm's okay too. That was a knee-on-knee collision.
And when he's out of the lineup and not there, that play just doesn't happen. His speed. He's having an offensive outburst this season for sure. I think his career high is 12. Now he's got 7 this year already.
6 goals his past 7 games.
Wow.
For Darren Helm. And a shorthanded tally for the Red Wings.
And good for him. He's worked so hard to get back. And is there anybody more deserving of this kind of start? Coming back from the injury, it's Darren Helm.
So power play continuing here. Cleary and Eriksson will get the helpers on the Helm goal. Islanders man advantage. Puck forced back to center. Good work by Anderson.
So hard the Red Wings are being on the puck right now. This is frustrating the Islanders. In their face hockey all night long. Good play by the Red Wings.
Frans Nielsen blocked by Kronwall and backhanded down. And you're right about Darren Helm. It was the 10-11 season. Played all 82 games. Scored 12 goals. 2 of them shorthanded. And 32 points that season. Helm out there again. Nelson. Back to the line. Hickey to Hamonic. Here Mark Bouchard checked by Quincy. Red Wings being relentless. Abdelkader out of the box.
That's exactly it. Relentless. Great play by Quincy to step up and hound the Islander player. More or less taking it out of the zone by himself. But Red Wings are playing in-your-face hockey right now. A tough, aggressive style. And causing all sorts of frustration and problems for the Islanders.
Looking for their first win in 6 tries against the Islanders. They haven't beaten them in regulation since Black Friday of 2003. Black Friday of 2013 may be better if they keep playing this way. So 10 years between the big shopping days. The Red Wings a period a bit away from coming out of here with a win in regulation. And a lot of work left to be done. As Colin McDonald moves up, checked by Zetterberg. Cizikas has Kindles on him. Puck free there for Matt Martin. Casey Cizikas. Hit the referee, picked up by Colin McDonald.
Nice defense by the Red Wings, keeping the Islanders to the outside, being patient. I mentioned it before tonight.
Nyquist carries to center with Franzen and Zetterberg. Went off a stick and wide. Zetterberg over to get it. 35 seconds to go in period 2. As the Red Wings will regroup here. The fans have been on the Islanders a lot of the afternoon. It's the way things have gone. With just 2 wins, their past 10. They lost here to Winnipeg 3-2 on Wednesday. This is game 2 of a 4-game homestand. And then the Islanders will head on a tough 5-game Western road trip. Starts in St. Louis, and then to Death Valley, known as California, and then on to Phoenix. Howard with the save. Eriksson will rebound.
And when you're sporting a 3-9 record on the road, that doesn't bode well for going out on that trip for sure.
So another good period for the Red Wings. Our MGM Grand Detroit intermission activities, what we'll be talking about. And that'll come your way after we step out. So it's Darren Helm with a couple. Jimmy Howard, perfect so far. Well, I do recognize the name on the right. Back here at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Red Wings in a 2-0 lead. On 2 goals by Darren Helm, his 6th and 7th. Alfredsson, Smith, Cleary, and Eriksson with the assists.
Now time for our AT&T reverse replay of the game. Darren Helm has been so good this season since his return from injury. Has been great tonight again, hounding the puck. Beautiful move here. Shows the patience of a 50-goal scorer, putting the Red Wings up 1-0. And then the determination. Blowing past McDonald, shorthanded, spinning around. The puck rolling into the gaping net to put the Red Wings up 2-0. But showing apt touch with his hands and beautiful patience in the first goal, but then his speed and determination on the second goal to give him 7 on the year, closing in on that number 12, which is his career high for goals. And he's been just so good since his return from injury.
And just 1 game played last season, 4th game of the year, and then the back injury. Off-ice training.
Whatever he's doing it right when he was off the ice for a while. Everybody's happy to have him back for sure.
Centering, Abdelkader and Alfredsson. Here's Alfredsson in the clear. Scores! Daniel Alfredsson makes it 3-0. That took just 12 seconds. That'll give him some more confidence going to Ottawa on Sunday.
Alfredsson making no mistake on this. A great pass by Smith, though. Beautiful through the legs of Helm, and a nice top shelf shot by Alfredsson, who scored on a shootout goal on that exact same shot, but quick release. Pulling back deep in his crease because Alfredsson skating with speed, pushing him back into the blue in a quick snapshot.
Alfredsson with 4 points the past 3 games. 2 and 2.
Helm can do no wrong right now. Instead of touching it, lifting up his leg, the puck goes through his legs and onto the stick of Alfredsson.
Brendan Smith with 2 assists in this game. Nyquist will send it deep.
And Brendan Smith, since his return from injury, is playing a much more efficient game, making nice passes out of his end zone constantly. Providing the Red Wings with offense.
His final year in Wisconsin, when he led all defensemen in the nation in scoring, as a pass across by Abdelkader, or Alfredsson just went wide of the goal. He was all offense there, and now is learning at the pro level one of the defensive aspects of the game. Got all the tools up front to lead the attack. Now just the patience, as you say, to let it come to you.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he's learning on the job for the NHL. He's going to have some times when he doesn't make the play that he would like, but of late now he seems to be learning from his mistakes earlier in the season. That's important. He's playing very well since coming back.
This will be icing, and the face-off back into the Detroit zone.
The Red Wings full marks for this 3-0 lead, playing very efficient hockey, smart in their own zone, and patient. Alfredsson wearing the 8 tonight. Great leader in this game for a long time, and the people in Ottawa would be the first to say that. And he has been just fabulous since coming here as a free agent.
And the way he's skated, he doesn't look like he's about to turn 41 in less than 2 weeks. In deep for Radek Martinek. Brock Nelson. Stephen Weiss. The minutes he's played, he's been effective.
here tonight. Nelson put it in back of the goal, open in front, all alone, and a good save by Howard on Peter Regan, who's in that horrific slump, and you could see there just doesn't have the confidence, the way to shoot it, hasn't scored in 21 games.
Waiting for the replay on the big screen, wondering what do I have to do to score, but great save here by Jimmy Howard, pushes across, doesn't have the time to get out of the blue like he did on the previous one, but makes himself big, shoulders up, takes it off the chest, and another key thing there, no rebound again, no loose pucks around the crease.
Andrew McDonald missed the target. Miller out with Tatar and Anderson. A very effective third line of late for Detroit. Andrew McDonald gets it to center, off a glove. Kindle up the far boards, gets help from his centerman as Anderson gets one over to Tatar. Miller drops one back. Kindle fires. Miller rebound. Oh, and a good stop there as Poulin got a stick on that Miller try as he looked for goals in consecutive games.
Great offensive execution by this line. Tatar keeps driving the net. Miller, little drop pass to Kindle. Miller continues to the net as well. McDonald just poking that away to safety before Miller can bang in this rebound, which a gaping net went to go high, but McDonald just getting a stick in there in time, but perfectly executed. Going to the net, continuing to go to the net, not standing by and being a bystander, but going to the net, creating chaos and havoc in front of the goal.
Zetterberg, Nyquist, and Franzen. Andrew McDonald to Grabner, and in it goes. Michael Grabner gets checked to the boards by Lashaw. The Red Wings, Franzen. A bouncer in, knocked aside by Kevin Poulin. Kindle had stepped up. Brendan Smith will shoot it back. Picked up here off the linesman by Nyquist. Abdelkader over to help Nyquist. Gets knocked down by McDonald. Now Helm over to pick it up. Shot goes off a stick up into the crowd and out of play. See living legends, including Chris Oska. Back on the ice in the Maple Leafs Red Wings Alumni Showdown, December 31st at Comerica Park. 2 games, one unforgettable memory, part of the 2013 Hockeytown Winter Festival. DetroitRedWings.com is the place to go for tickets. DetroitRedWings.com/HWF. Go there now for tickets. Cal Clutterbuck. He got checked by Helm. Got it back to Eriksson. A shot hit a leg. Eriksson went down awkwardly. Helm able to knock it down at center and sending one back into the Islanders' zone. And Eriksson's going off in pain to the Red Wing bench.
Looks like something to the groin area. Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully just getting a stick there.
Tavares in front over his stick and out the other side by Vanek. Yeah, Pete Van Zandt tending to Jonathan Eriksson on the Red Wing bench. This will go wide of the New York goal, so the face-off will come back down ice.
Danny DeKeyser still going to be out for quite some time. We're hoping that Jonathan Eriksson is all right and just got nicked up a bit on that last shift. Seems to come in and take a shot. Just think that was an unfortunate break for Eriksson. Hopefully shake this off and come back and be just as effective as he has been this entire night.
Off the backboards. Frans Nielsen. Puck is loose at center. Martinek for Oposo. Out with Nielsen and Grabner for the Islanders. Quincy stepped in front of Kyle Oposo. 6 goals in the season for Okposo, former 7th overall draft pick of the Islanders.
It was a good play by Brendan Smith. He didn't force anything. Banked off the boards and allowed his players to track that puck down with their speed instead of trying to force in a pass that might get picked off for a turnover and a scoring chance by the Islanders.
Last shot with a rink-wide pass for Cleary. The defenseman, McDonald, for the Islanders to Hickey. Back for McDonald. Maybe their best defenseman. Good shot blocker, Andrew McDonald, 27-year-old. Islanders have it in the Detroit zone. Back to McDonald again, and Howard will grab that point shot from him. When you think of McDonald and Travis Hamonic, the defense duo, those two for the New York Islanders, it's remarkable how strong those two have been.
Now, on a team where you have plenty of minus players, McDonald, 257 career games here, +2. Hamonic, 208 career games, a -1. May as well be plus. They're logging a lot of minutes against top players on other teams, and on a team that's riddled with guys that have that dash beside their names, these two have been solid all year long.
Scrambled face off. The Islanders come up with it. A quick shot. Howard got a piece of that.
Nice move by Howard to stay sharp on a quick play.
Here comes Franzen trying to bust through. 2-on-1 with Nyquist shooting. Scores! Great setup. Great shot. 4-0.
Well, this is going to send a lot of these fans home here in New York, and the Bluebirds are obviously out, but a perfectly executed, ill-advised pinch by McDonald, who we're just talking about. Great pass by Franzen, and an even better, perfectly placed shot by Nyquist, who continues to impress at a point-of-game pace since being called up by the Red Wings with his 4th goal in 5 games, but a great shot as a left-handed shot, shooting to the right side, high over the blocker of Poulin, off where the post and the crossbar meets to give the Red Wings a 4-0 lead here.
4 goals and 5 points now for Gustav Nyquist. Yeah, in his 5th game, and a goal and an assist against Boston. Got another one here. So you can see the way Tatar has come on, and Nyquist, how bright the future is.
And it takes time. We talked earlier about Brendan Smith, who makes some mistakes, but don't forget he's learning on the job. And the key for his success is he has to learn from his mistakes and not keep making them over and over again. And I'm seeing progress in his game from that aspect. Tatar, Nyquist, Anderson, all the young players that learned their craft in Grand Rapids now have things to learn here. You're seeing past the 25 game point, they've definitely all improved and are playing very well right now.
Franzen and Kronwall assisting. Kronwall with 18 points to lead the defenseman on the Red Wings. Franzen with yet another point, giving him 12 as we get a stop and play. 12 points in the 9 games since missing 5 due to injury. So the Red Wings up by 4. Daniel Alfredsson a part of that.
And welcome back. Tonight's high-speed shot is brought to you by Charter Internet. Daniel Alfredsson with a perfectly placed snapshot over the glove Poulin. The speed of Alfredsson pushing him back. Then a great pass by Johan Franzen, who stays hot to an even hotter Nyquist with a perfectly placed shot high over the blocker where the post and the crossbar meet to put the Red Wings up 4-0 here. And Red Wings have played to this point a perfect game.
Gustav Nyquist now with 5 goals, or 4 goals rather, his past 5 games. We got another stop and play.
And when people would ask me in Detroit about Nyquist, I said he's a very good player, but is he the savior? I would say no, but maybe I'm wrong. He's come here and he's not only played great himself, but he's made guys around him better. And usually expect that to be said about Datsuk and Zetterberg, but Nyquist has done exactly that. He sees the ice very well, and he's a good offensive player, a smart hockey player on the ice.
And he was a Hobey Baker finalist each of his final 2 collegiate seasons. He led the nation in scoring back in 2010 as a sophomore at Maine. Here's Alfredson in. Led the American Hockey League in scoring and assigned as a recall a year ago. So when you're leading every league you've played in, it's pretty much a given that at some point you're going to not necessarily be dominant, but you're going to be very productive even at this level.
He has no flash in the pan, that's for sure. He has done it at every level, and he's doing it here as well. He had a great playoff last year for the Red Wings against Anaheim and Chicago, and then continued that with the Grand Rapids Griffins, who won the Calder Cup, and he was a big part of that in the final 2 rounds. But this guy's done it at every level, and he's continuing to do it here.
One thing the Red Wings wanted him to do, Chris, was shoot more, and he seems to be doing that. He'd be the first to tell you he's a pass-first guy.
But he's got a very accurate, as you saw the goalie score, an accurate, surprising shot. It's a lot harder and a lot quicker than people think, and the accuracy on it is very, very high.
4th round pick of the Red Wings back in 08. Nielsen to pick it up. The shot by Oposo. Ness to Nielsen. Slot to Grabner. Well, the Red Wings, who led Boston 2 nights ago 6-0, lead the Islanders tonight 4-0. Anderson over to get it. Michael Grabner will carry ahead. He's got speed to burn.
And every line has played very well tonight. The 4th line, Fleury, Weiss, Samuelson has been very good. As I call the veteran line. They put in good, smart minutes. And here they are again right now out on the ice.
Fleury moved up, and the Islanders will ice it. So the face-off will come back 200 feet. Stephen Weiss looking for his first goal in 15 games.
And he's skating better. He's doing a lot of the little things right. He's playing good defense. He's getting pucks out. He's getting pucks in. He's not turning it over. Sometimes when you don't score, you start pressing, you're thinking too much. Just needs to go out there and play. Enjoy himself. Have some fun with it.
This is the second of 3 meetings. The Red Wings will meet the Islanders just before Christmas at Joe Louis Arena, December 23rd. Hopefully Danny DeKeyser back at that point. Well, the Red Wings head on a road trip just after Christmas with their fathers or mentors in tow for the annual trip the Red Wings have with the dads.
Enjoyable trip to Florida and Nashville, I believe.
Yep.
Always a fun trip for not only the fathers, but the players to have their dads around.
Well, it's a great time to have them around Christmas and go on the road and then stay here and then back in Detroit with the big game at the big house on New Year's Day.
It'll be a busy but exciting time for everybody involved for sure.
Held in by Hamonic. Regan reversed it to Bouchard. Pierre-Marc Bouchard up high with it. Puts on the brakes. Now to the goal and a shot. Knocked down in front of Howard. Nelson to the net. Bounced off the near side. Held in by Andrew McDonald. Behind for Peter Regan through his skates. Good coverage, though, by Quincy on Bouchard.
This is where the Red Wings have really improved of late. Just defensively in their own zone. They're not giving up those great scoring chances.
Hamonic fell on the play. That allows Zetterberg up the left wing with Nyquist. Zetterberg right in on goal. Saved by Poulin. Nyquist the rebound. Oh, what a stop that was. Oh, Poulin, a terrific save.
Looked like Billy
Conquest
Smith.
of Nyquist.
A Billy Smith-like save from the 80s there.
What about a Chris Osgood-like save from the 2000s?
When I started doing that, that's when I knew it was coming to an end.
Helm with a shot high. Alfredson a shot.
You can just see
piece of that out the other
the
side.
confidence of the Red Wings right now, the way they're playing. They're just skating, having some fun out there, enjoying themselves.
Here's Vanek. Tavares to the goal. There it is. Howard. Big stop at the other end.
Great read by Jimmy Howard.
Here comes Abdelkader up the left wing. And off a stick and out of play. The goaltenders coming up big at both ends of the rink. As this score remains, Detroit 4, the Islanders nothing. We're back in a moment to Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Welcome back. Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Jimmy Howard, who's looking like a confident Jimmy Howard, making saves that are tough, look easy. He's been out of the blue. Games like this are huge confidence builders, and Jimmy Howard, who only had one win previous in this month of November, has looked solid all night, tracking pucks, being big. Shoulders up, chest out, making hard saves look easy, prowling rebounds. But this is a big game for Jimmy Howard for his confidence moving forward going into the month of December. And they need Jimmy Howard, just like Coach Mike Babcock said, to be their best player.
Well, he started the month with a win in Calgary and looking for his first one since November 1st to close the month in same fashion. Franzen whirls back with it. Too far for Nyquist. Ness with a play to Nielsen. Now Franzen's got it to the goal, and Kevin Poulin made the save. Red Wings are just under 8 minutes away from their first regulation victory. Pretty much 10 years to the day when they last had it on Black Friday at the Joe against the Islanders in 2003. 10 years to the day is a long time.
It is a long time.
Not that they meet that much, but
playing against the Red Wings here when I was an Islander, and those games are always a lot of fun, and the fans here in New York got a chance to come out and watch them. I played both games, and we tied once and lost on an overtime breakaway goal by Steve Yzerman. It was actually a 3-on-0, and Chris Draper had the puck and actually passed it off.
at least you didn't hear from Drapes, or did you? Still, you must have.
Oh, no, he heard from me after that because I claimed that he was afraid to take the shot himself. But then again, when you're flanked by two Hall of Famers,
yeah,
you're probably going to give it up.
Right.
But, I remember it was a great game, a 5-4 end-to-end game. It was an old school game. Always enjoyed playing against the Red Wings when I was an Islander, but not so much going into the Joe.
No.
A lot of nerves. It was a tough game for me to play, and kind of just wanted to get over it and was happy when it was. And I would think Tammy Alfredson will be the same going into Ottawa on Sunday.
Was your wife sitting with Chris's wife?
She was sitting with
Julia?
Chris Draper's wife in Detroit, and I enjoyed playing against Red Wings even when I was in St. Louis, but not so much in the Joe. A lot of emotions, and you tend to downplay it, but that's the farthest thing from the truth.
Plays onside for Miller. Brought back by Clutterbuck. His pass to Vanek up with Tavares. Here's Clutterbuck, who had scored in the first meeting against the Red Wings. Knocked down at the line by Eriksson to Miller. Miller turned it back in deep. The Islanders won the last 5 meetings from Detroit. But it won't be on this night, as that streak is going to come to a close.
A very determined Red Wings team. Looks as if they're going to put that streak to an end for the Islanders tonight, maybe start one of their own.
Detroit first time in here outshot 41-23. Outshooting the Islanders 27-26 at this juncture. As Cleary brings it ahead, Samuelsson racing with him, goes to the goal. Samuelson's got it on his stick and it gets checked. And then pushed into the net. Good defensive play coming back by the centerman Casey Cizikas to stop Samuelsson from putting a 5th one on the board for Detroit. We're back in a moment.
Welcome back with the Red Wings leading 4-0. Let's take a look at Big Boy's big play of the game, and it's Darren Helton with his second of the night. Determination and speed. McDonald caught by surprise. Ill-advised play by Poulin enabled Helm, but the effort and determination by Helm made that goal happen, crashing over top of McDonald and the goalie Poulin to put the Red Wings up 2-0. Looking as fabulous as ever on the bench with that mustache that I personally think he should keep going in Ottawa.
put the pressure on. I think now he has to. Because calendar will flip to December for Sunday, and the way November's gone, why would he shave?
You don't mess with success, Ken.
Yeah. Is he a superstitious sort? Do you know that at all?
I'm going to ask him after the game.
Well, the Red Wings picking up 2 points here, finally in regulation against the Islanders, are going to move back within 3 points of East-leading Boston, who defeated the Rangers this afternoon. Boston will still have a game in hand. But Detroit keeping pace, as the Red Wings are going to improve to 13-7-7. Going to win a third straight game and win 4 of their past 5.
And points aside, 3 points behind Boston, but playing very, very good hockey right now.
And again, to win 3 straight, and without Pavel Datsyuk, without Danny DeKeyser, hopefully this will continue and keep on a roll and get some revenge there. And what'll be an emotional night for Daniel Alfredsson on Sunday at 5 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit Plus with Red Wings live pregame.
I'm venturing to say that the Red Wings will be more than ready for that game. Not only for Alfredsson, but for the fact they've been beaten twice by Paul McLean's Ottawa Senators.
Right. Who has not been happy with his team. It was Paul McLean after their latest loss. He's worried about Daniel Alfredsson. He said, I'm worried about my whole team. I'm not worried about Daniel Alfredsson. That's the way it's gone for the Senators late. 4 to go here in the third period. Helm gives it to Alfredsson. Works back at the line with it. Here's Kronwall, wide open, the shot. Oh, knocked out. Scores! Another one for Alfredsson. After the Islanders pulled one off the goal line, the rebound went right to Alfredsson. He's got 2, and the Red Wings got another one.
And once again, a nifty pass up high by Alfredsson back to the point. And the wrist shot through. Hits Coulin's glove, comes over, it's going in, saved on the goal line. But Alfredsson there to tuck in his second of the night. But a common theme which has been there all night, net front presence. Not only Abdelkader, but Darren Helm, as you see on his knees there, battling in front of the net, causing the screen, causing a lot of obstruction in front of the goalie and making it hard on the Islander defense. Alfredsson tucks it home. And he'll go into Ottawa feeling confident about his game right now.
Now it'll be interesting to see if they give Kronwall an assist on that. Brock Nelson saved it from going in on the first one on the goal line and inadvertently put it right on Alfredsson's stick. But Nelson was doing all he could just to get out of harm's way. Here comes Frans Nielsen. So 5-0.
It is 5-0, but an underlying story in this game is the play of Jimmy Howard. He's been solid. In a game like this is a great confidence booster. You get a 3-4 goal lead as a goalie. Now you want to play. You want to be sharp, work on stuff moving into his next start. Gustin will play in Ottawa. This is a big game for Jimmy Howard. Having only won 1 game in November, you got the backing of his head coach, Mike Babcock. Jimmy Howard's the man. And when it comes right down to it, they need him to be their best player on most nights to give them an opportunity to get back to where they want to be.
Alfredsson getting the goal from Kronwall and Helm. At 16-13, Darren Helm with a couple of goals and an assist. Kronwall with a couple of assists. Alfredsson 2 goals, Helm 2 goals, Nyquist the other one. 11 goals the past 2 games for the Red Wings. In move Matt Carter. Beating Boston 6-1 2 nights ago. And it was a 3-1 over Buffalo prior to that. So having said all that, at this point, just 2 goals against the past 3 games since giving up 4 to the Senators.
And the number one thing I have noticed, less breakaways given up, less odd man rushes given up. They're playing smart hockey. Less turnovers. Sometimes it's just getting pucks off the boards and out if nothing is there. And sometimes that's just as good as a play as any. Not forcing pucks in like they were so many times earlier in the season.
Matt Martin collided heavily in the corner as Weiss is trying to dig that puck free, as is Martin. Smith gets back up. It seems to be okay. Cleary. Knocked away from Weiss. Colin McDonald for the Islanders. The guy who's been very, very quiet this afternoon, even though after 2 periods he had 3 shots. John Tavares. And Smith punched over at the Red Wing bench. He went in heavily in the corner. Ness, as the Boo Birds are out here as they approach a minute to go. Karkner. Knocked down. Alfredsson's got it. Into the middle for Helm, as both have a couple of goals and are both out there now with a minute to go.
Searching for that magic number 3 goal.
In front of Howard, big save. Oh, you know what happened last night to Gustafsson late, and I know you, being a superstitious sort, aren't going to say a word. Don't you use that S word.
I was just about to.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That turnover. And Howard staying alert. He's been on top of his game tonight with 29 saves up to this point, but coming off for turnover, this is a big game for Jimmy Howard. Hopefully get him rolling in the other direction, stay square to it, stay big. But you look sharp, and this is only going to bring Jimmy Howard back.
And it has already been determined that Jonas Gustafsson will play at Ottawa. At least that was the plan as of after the Boston game.
Sometimes it's important to just take a step back. You got some good practice time with Jimmy Bedard when you're out there just by yourself, repetition, going over the same things over and over and over again without any players in the ice. You can see tonight, Jimmy Howard looks very, very sharp and confident in there.
Quincy and Smith out there in the final 20 seconds. Smith banked it off the glass and out to center. As the Red Wings are going to win a 3rd straight, improve to 13-7-7, and stay within 3 points to the East-leading Boston Bruins. Long shot in, and Jimmy Howard has a shutout and a victory. He started November that way. He ends November that way. His first shutout since blanking the Sharks in a game that went to a shootout back on October the 21st. The 18th shutout of his career for Jimmy Howard as the Red Wings win it 5-0 after a 6-1 win a couple of nights ago over Boston.
Well, that's a way to end a losing streak somewhere. Nice 5-0 victory tonight, but a great, great game all around. They flat out outworked the New York Islanders tonight in every aspect of the game. A lot of big games by a lot of players, and they continue to roll, getting good play and scoring from everyone.
So a 3-win streak here and 3 wins without Pavel Datsyuk too, and Daniel Alfredsson coming back into the lineup has been a big part of that, along with Darren Helm. 5-0 the final as the Red Wings win 10 years to the day. On Black Friday, get a regulation win over the New York Islanders and break a 5-game losing skid to the New Yorkers. Our coverage continues with Red Wings Live after this break with Shannon Hogan and Darren Elliott. We'll return to the Detroit studio.